Do you think the Democratic Party and Tay had some sort of an arrangement?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it was staged and planned and all that.
Because this isn't too much of a conspiracy. That could happen.
Yeah.
This idea that a pop star who has no clue about what the middle class, anything about them and how they live, is telling you who to vote for, but that she's saying it, you should listen to her. Like, I'm endorsing her, therefore, hopefully this will get you millions of votes. There is in southern Lebanon, a bunch of people in a known terrorist group that's been labeled Hezbollah.
Yes.
Bunch of pagers that blew up at the same time.
Yes.
Or right around the same time. And it turns out that was an attack by Israel. 9 were killed, including an 8-year-old girl. 2,750 were wounded.
Yeah.
200 in critical condition. So Israel's saying that they want to add focus to this group for their war. Welcome to Stay in the Gray podcast. We explore news that gets people talking by blending comedy and controversy.
Man, feel this word. Shadow streets Butthurt.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Trey. Together we dive into tough topics with a combination of humor and some insight.
So join us as we navigate the gray areas of the world and engaging in real conversation.
Come get to know us.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Trey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
My monitor is back, and we have nobody in the guest chair tonight.
Just me and you again.
Yes, I missed it.
That's
I missed
boring.
it. Is it? Well, if anybody, look, if people are listening to us, they've accepted that the shows are going to be just you and me.
Sometimes just you.
I did do 2 shows by myself, didn't I? But yeah, we had fun with Alina. Man, she can talk.
A little bit.
I met my match.
Yeah, that's true.
I think she was getting frustrated
That's
that
true.
I kept talking.
Because you kept throwing little remarks in. Because you had to get your 2 cents in.
I can't stop. I just can't sit there for more than, I think 20 seconds
20
is probably
seconds.
my max. And then I have to be like, okay, sure. Right. Okay.
Trey's done that before. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
I've got a headline.
Headline.
Up.
We're back.
We're back.
Everybody, episode 4-3.
So headline goes, cops hunt for man caught on camera performing a jaw-dropping sex act with cucumber in D.C. And of course, this is a pretty good writer. It says now he's in a pickle. So anyway,
I don't know why I laughed that hard. I shouldn't have, but
yeah.
But go ahead.
Police are hunting for a man caught on camera doing this jaw-dropping act. And basically what he did is the cameras show him walking through a break in the fence into this woman's little driveway is the best way I can put it. Very cool. Has a cigarette, not lit, just cool and calm. Little lunchbox. He pulls a cucumber
Little
out.
lunchbox.
Little lunchbox.
He's cool.
Cool little lunchbox. Okay. Maybe he's just coming from work, taking a break. I don't know.
Cool as a cucumber?
Cool as a...
No
what
way.
you did there.
You see what I did?
Anyway, so he pulls a cucumber out of his lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
So he pulls it out of his lunchbox. He puts it in the grill of the car. I'm wondering where he's going with this.
I'm wondering where you're going with this.
He slides his pants down and performs a rotten act, the writer says. The DC News outlet describes him as the cucumber sodomist.
What? Why would you put it in the car first?
He had to wedge it out so he could bend over and slide it into himself.
So he doesn't want to do the, why am I demonstrating? He doesn't want to do the hand movements. He doesn't want to actually.
He didn't want to put it in his own butt.
He wanted to pretend like it was.
So he slides into it. And once he's finished, they call him the cucumber canoodler, lights the cigarette, returns the vegetable to his lunchbox because, of course, he's going to use it later, and he leaves. So
Have someone use that for a sandwich.
Or a salad or something. Yeah. So yeah, that was.
But why that car at that moment? Was it just like
He was feeling the moment.
The car was he liked it. He was attracted to the
turned
color.
on by the certain brand of the vehicle.
Trey, you never disappoint with stories about the asshole.
And this was all caught on camera. Can you believe that?
How does somebody film it and not sit there and say something or do? I guess.
I mean, I'm assuming she called the cops at some point, but yeah. So yeah.
What do you tell them?
Just here's the footage. Yeah, that's all.
No, what do you if you're the guy like? Look, everything. I didn't hurt anybody. Everything's legal.
What are you in for? Fucking myself with a cucumber.
You can show ass on TV. I can't show my ass in public.
Yeah, anyway. Maybe he had a thong on, so he just moved the thong over. Does that make it legal? I don't know.
Is that a move that you are familiar?
I will not answer that question.
All right, I got a headline. I don't think it's going to top that. My headlines are just one-liners. You're not going to get any story. All right.
Got it.
There are some minors. Not minor children, but miners in the mines.
Miners in the mine, okay.
Miners refuse to work after death.
I can see why you had to clarify what type of miner it was.
Yes, definitely.
Is that
the miners who work in the mines, people, not miners. So all of these social media
after
death. So I imagine
that maybe a union thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, at least they have the union on their side,
right?
All the way to the bitter end. Let's go. Our headlines. Maybe we should move them to the end. If anybody sticks with us through the headlines, God bless you. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go right to Butthurt Comments.
Your favorite segment?
Yeah, we had a good last one. We didn't do it when Alina was here. We did the season finale episode when finally somebody had. If you remember, I believe her name was Mickey. Mickey.
Oh yeah,
Mickey. And she was she called you like a skeleton big bird or some shit.
Yeah,
me
crypt keeper.
Like I was dirty or something. Which how does she know? I took a nice shower tonight.
You did,
Mickey, and I smelled delightful.
I scrubbed your back nicely, so you smell great.
It's a cucumber. And you know what? Let's move on. And so the first one is something that I actually put on a Word document because it's still from a long time ago. It's this girl.
Word document. Huh?
It's this girl. Well, it was so far down the thing. These are TikTok. This girl that I posted, and she's, again, not that it matters, super hot. I can't find her handle, but I found the video. She's in her car, and this is right after Kamala was forced in, which she was. She was not voted in. Throw that in there. And she basically was going off. Why should we vote for this woman? All I've heard is because she's black and she's a woman and blah, 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 which she's not really. This was an initial reaction to Kamala Harris being announced as the candidate. And I tell you what, it must have been the algorithm got all the Kamala supporters. Unfortunately, the Trump people came in and said this is funny and whatever, but apparently there's a warplane going over our house. I have no idea what that was. I apologize. But did you hear that?
Yes.
It's like a chopper there's like a what do they call those Black Hawk?
Yes.
And chopper.
Holy crap.
Maybe they're looking for somebody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this girl gave her opinion. That's it. She gave her opinions and she said some things and everybody's lost it. First off, why on us? All I did was post a video of somebody else.
You jerk.
Fair enough. Like, okay, you posted it, so that means you obviously
you're the asshole.
Are the same. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm not the same. I just posted a video because
we are male.
First off, she's hot, and second off, she was talking. I thought she made sense, but whatever.
We're guys and we're not hot, so
this woman responds, and she's a black woman. I'll say it. She said, because one of the things that this girl said on the video was Kamala uses her mouth to get to where she's at. Of course, that got everybody fired up.
Allegedly.
Look, even Donald said that.
Allegedly.
So if Donald said it.
And of course, he didn't get any hate.
No, right. She goes, you're the only ones, us, who use your mouths to get where you are. Ha, ha, ha.
How did she find out?
What does that mean, first off? And second off.
Did you tell?
All you are... I don't know if this is you plural or me. All you are is dingy and gullible racists.
I could be gullible. You can be dingy.
Who's the racist? Both of us?
I don't know.
But do you see where this Butthurt comment needed to be on here? Call us dingy and gullible. I'm probably gullible. I'm dingy. I'm probably look.
It depends on the day, because I can be dingy too.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
The point is, here's the race card, and when do we use our mouths? Like, what's she talking about?
Well, I had to get this job somehow, so
maybe that's what she meant. We're doing a show, and you earned your way. I don't into that chair. You gotta we went from the white chair to the recliner somehow. But racist. Don't play the race card, people. It's just it's so stupid. Not one thing that I said to her, nothing was racist.
Did you just tell her to like and subscribe?
Absolutely. I'm starting to use that because I just can't take it. I'm
with a smile. Like and subscribe. Smile.
Anyway. So let's wait, not this one. The next one is going to be this one, I believe, and it says, so far no one has had successful solution to the border. So I wanted to bring this up because I'm getting so many of these comments about the border, and this isn't that butthurt, but it's enough for me to bring up a topic. So far no one has had successful solution to the border. So to put the blame on one president, Joe Biden, or vice president who has no power, I was unaware the vice president had no power on immigration, although she's the border czar, right?
Is that what they were calling her?
Yeah, border czar. She was supposed to is showing that you're just flapping your lips with a face that looked confused.
That's you.
People, the border really fast. Anybody that's seeing my screen is seeing our clip. The border issue with Kamala and the fact that everybody's saying that Donald turned down this Democratic proposal to seal the border. Okay, did you hear about this?
No.
So in the last couple of months, apparently the Democrats have said, we have a plan now. Well, first off, where's the plan been for the last almost 4 years of your presidency?
How does Donald have the power to turn it down?
Thank you.
I don't get that.
They claim he called the Republicans and forced them to veto it.
Gotcha.
Well, that's not on him. That's on the Republicans.
Yeah.
But second off, they fought him on it for 4 years when he was president.
Right.
Then for the last 3.5, almost 4, they haven't done anything. In fact, the illegal immigration is the worst of all time. And now you want to do something and you want to blame bullshit. I'm not taking it. And they're claiming Donald said that to the Republicans because that's his platform and whatever. It is his platform because he's been trying to do it for 8 years, and they haven't done shit.
Interesting.
So the person that says I'm flapping my lips because the VP has no power, well, then what is the VP there for?
Right. They just go to libraries and read books to kids.
There you go. And my favorite one of the night was somebody when we came out and just basically said. It was about the other Butthurt comment. It was about Mima Mickey, about posting videos of Kamala and Donald together. Fake debates. And this guy comes on and all he says is pussy. So he's calling one of us a pussy. I don't know who it is.
It's probably me.
But I just said great substance, like and subscribe.
That's good. I like it.
I'm trying.
I'm feeling better
trying
with
my
that.
best. But I don't. First off, I don't know what the need is to go on there and just say pussy. Secondly, this is on TikTok, and I've literally been warned and gotten checked or what do you call them, where I get the flag for saying the word stupid, and this guy's allowed to call me a pussy. I don't understand. Anyway, those are Butthurt comments. What do you think? A little bit of everything.
Yeah,
we're racist. We're dingy.
One of us is a pussy.
One of us is a pussy, and the VP has no power.
So
apparently, who knew? We'll move on from that. How about I finally get to press a button, Trey? How about news?
Oh God!
You ready?
Can you not just do from the middle part on? Because that first part, it sucks.
Well, that would be like 2 seconds. Da-da.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'll try and get a Trey approved news.
Let's talk to
indicator.
somebody. Yeah.
Anyway,
But that's free though.
I don't want to get flagged for it again. This is getting silly.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know, we weren't trying to bootleg the NFL game the other night where we got flagged for 20 seconds on our big TV up here of showing it.
That's funny.
This is Friends and it's on syndication. So if anybody has an issue with that, I apologize. I'll talk to Nick at night.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. Say we have no intent.
No.
All right. News. You've heard of the band Jane's Addiction.
Okay.
You haven't?
I have.
90s. That was
I didn't know if that was a question or
before
you were
our
telling
time.
me.
That was before our time, right? 90s.
Yeah, way before our time.
Part of the grunge / 90s movement. Well, they're still performing like a lot of bands are, still going out there and doing their thing because these days with Spotify and things like that, you're not making as much money on album sales.
That's true.
So you're having to perform. And so these guys are out there. Well, Perry Farrell is the singer.
Okay.
You remember how he sounds in some of the Jane's Addiction songs?
No, sing it for me.
No, I'm good. God, that would be everybody gone. Stop. Dave Navarro is the guitar player, right? Okay. So they're on stage in Boston. And Perry Farrell, the singer, was getting frustrated. And it was visually frustrated. People could see. He was doing this with his face. If you can't see me, I'm kind of, if you're listening to the show, not watching, I'm kind of
Frustrated?
frustrated, squinting at your face a little bit. And he goes over to Dave Navarro at first and kind of like gives him a shoulder, like in hockey, like you're shouldering somebody. And Dave Navarro's kind of like, thought he was just being maybe, this is a fun part of the gig.
Whimsical.
There you go, Trey. Look at you. Was that toilet paper?
Yeah.
Toilet paper word of the day. I'm very impressed. And then he bumps another way. Navarro plays it off, and he continues to play the song, and everything's fine. Well, a minute or two later, Perry Farrell comes over and literally takes a swing at him, his own guitar player.
Holy shit, really?
Just tries to punch him. What I admire about Dave Navarro for taking that punch is he literally played the ending of the song while he's taking a punch, and
he finished the song?
Finished the song.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
epic right there. When I heard that. Now, of course, Dave Navarro married and banged Carmen Electra, so good for him, and that's my man right there. I think they did a reality show together. Do you remember Dave Navarro?
Yeah. He's he actually does the Ink Master show too. He's got
some ink.
Yeah.
But anyway, can you imagine the expression on Navarro's face? He's
Like, what the fuck?
And of course,
Can you imagine the expression, the fact that he was able to finish the song even though he just got punched? What does that tell him about his punch?
Perry Farrell's, well, they're getting older. I think Perry Farrell's like in his late 50s, early 60s, maybe.
Gotcha.
But so Perry Farrell's wife was the one who kind of revealed everything and apologized for
Did he bang the wife?
He went in. No, Perry Farrell came back out, or not came at the show, but later on, and of course apologized to his fans and his friends and his family and to Dave. And they canceled the show and canceled the tour indefinitely for now. What happened is that the band was apparently drowning out his voice. And Farrell suffers from tinnitus. I think I said that right. Tinnitus, which is hearing issues. And every night now that he's singing, because he's getting older, I imagine, he's got a sore throat. So he's just not comfortable performing. He can't hear or sing, and he's a singer for a rock.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And so apparently somebody in the first row was like, the band is too loud. I can't hear you. Well, he was upset because his throat hurt, and he thought it was on him. And then I think when he bumped Navarro, he was trying to tell him, like, dude, turn your shit down. It's not on Navarro. It's on the sound guys.
I was curious who
Farrell
the
knows
responsibility.
that. Perry Farrell knows that, but he was just frustrated. And so that he said he apparently lost it, and he apologized, and the tour is on hold indefinitely. So,
wow.
And apparently they had a lot of dates left on that tour. So
Interesting.
It's too bad because they're awesome. They're a fun band.
I know you were in a band, so I mean, how often do you run into that?
Well, there are tensions. There's always,
No,
tensions.
not the fight. I'm talking about the sound, like where the singer, do they give you a signal to say, hey,
You usually trust your sound guys.
Oh, okay.
As a drummer, I'm back there, and you do sound check and you do everything. And that's what they do, and they're there throughout the show. They're up. They're raising
Up and
levels.
down, up and down.
Kinda like
Oh,
I'll
got
do
it.
here sometimes. All right. Well, somebody's voice was a low. I'll raise the levels or whatever.
Gotcha.
And you do it based on performance. And if all of a sudden in sound check I'm hitting the drum lightly, and all of a sudden when we get going I'm starting to pound them, you got to turn it down.
Gotcha.
Same thing here. It's up to the sound guy to go, well, we can't hear Perry very well.
Interesting.
And I wonder if Perry didn't sound great because of that sore throat.
Well, and I've been to concerts before where it was hard to hear the singer
It
because
is.
of the band.
It is.
So,
But it's not Dave Navarro's fault. And
Yeah.
why not punch the other guy
right.
or the drummer?
the sound guy.
Just run out there.
So
Hey, crowd surf me out.
there
to
you
the
go.
fucking
I got to
sound
beat the
guy out
fucking
there.
sound
Yeah.
guy up.
So I just thought that was interesting. But too bad because Jane's Addiction's fun. And hopefully we see them. Hopefully they get over their shit. I think it's just Perry Farrell getting old, and I don't think he can do it anymore.
Yeah.
My opinion. Take it easy, Perry. Don't hit me. Anyway, let's get serious for a quick second for news.
Okay.
Did you hear about Israel's latest conflict in Lebanon?
Well, I've heard a few stories. So
Few
what
stories.
do you?
This is what I got, and you can tell me what you have. What I have is that there is in southern Lebanon, I think it said southern Lebanon, a bunch of people in a known terrorist group that's been labeled Hezbollah.
Yes.
Okay. A bunch of pagers, which I thought we were in 2024, but there were a bunch of pagers, I'll get to that in a second, that blew up at the same time.
Yes.
Or right around the same time. And it turns out that was an attack by
Yeah.
Israel. 9 were killed. They thought 11 at first, but it was 9, including an 8-year-old girl.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's the part that got me. I mean, I feel for the other 8, but 8-year-old girl, means she wasn't a part of
Yeah.
Hezbollah, the terrorist group. 2,750 were wounded,
Yeah.
200 in critical condition. And then, of course, now this terrorist group saying, well, Israel's going to get its punishment. I'm like, just like,
Yeah.
here we go again. This is an Iran, however you say it, backed terrorist group, by
Gotcha.
the way, in Lebanon. So Israel's saying that they want to add focus to this group for their war. Why not, Trey?
Yeah.
We've got Hamas. Let's add these fucks over here. I do feel for Israel because they're literally geographically surrounded by Muslims and a lot of extremist groups. A very, very small amount of Muslims, but there are extremist groups that surround them, and that's got to be difficult. But this is just interesting because the leader of Hezbollah told his people, his name is Hassan Nasrallah.
Very common name over there.
Yeah, for sure. That's like Mike Jones over here. He told his people / fighters to stop using smartphones because the Israelis had the ability to hack them and blow them up. So they all got old school
Pagers.
fucking pagers.
Yeah.
Apparently Israel knows some shit. You got some IT guys over there and they got to it. I don't know what provoked it. So that's the part that's why I'm not going to let Israel off the hook here. I don't support terrorist groups no matter what.
Right.
If Hezbollah is a terrorist group, then fuck them. But at the same time, was it completely unprovoked? I haven't heard anything about Lebanon. So what do the last thing I have is the U.S. Why are we involved in this? But sure enough, the U.S. Department spokesperson said the U.S. doesn't know who is responsible. Why would they? And why are we involved in this? Get out of there.
I should know more.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I should know more about this, but I wouldn't.
But is that kind of what you?
But I
heard?
I heard today that they're trying to fight them off without including them in the war. So they're strategically going after like bases and like missile launching, to keep the threat down without going into a full threat war.
Well,
so, and the pager attack was specific towards the terrorist group because they knew that they used the pagers, so they knew how to attack it.
Unfortunately, I made a mistake with like the 8-year-old.
Right,
girl.
of course, yeah. And I think, they finally set them off all at the same time, and that was fucking crazy when I heard about that. But yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was possible. People that are smarter than me when it comes to computers would say that I'm an idiot, and that of course it's possible. But to me, that's crazy. And you're almost 3,000 people wounded. I mean, this wasn't just like a let's get. Apparently, they got a big boy there. They got one of the guys that's
One of the main leaders.
One of the main guys over there. They got, and I don't know if that's what they're doing. Is they're trying to just pick them off with this kind of strategy, but. You think Hezbollah is going to sit there and go, oh, they don't have the ability to do something like that back. And there are already attacks starting from what I hear.
Yeah, I think they just evacuated the northern border of Israel to,
So is this worth it? It's a mess. And I can't wait to have our new friends of the show on who have helped us tremendously and who are now excited that Alina, our beautiful Russian guest, finds Pakistani men.
Well, how are you going to page them at this point?
How am I going to what?
Are you going to page them or I was trying.
Oh, how am I going to pay? I don't have a pager.
Do they have a pager though? So
they may.
So
they may. You know, they've told me before, Trey. They've admitted third world country. They've admit that they're a third world country, which is really interesting to hear.
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons I want to have them on here. So your joke actually does work because they tell me all the time. Now, pagers were more than 10 years, but he says, look, we look to the West to see what we're going to be in 10 years.
That's wild.
And it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I was like, whoa, like they're aware of it.
But it's crazy how intelligent these guys are and what they do for us.
Sure.
So
the studying and the technology and the things like that, they're aware of it. It's just not, it's not there. It's not the trend. I mean, you have to, the internet's there. It just sucks.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite dial up, but it sucks. And they're telling me, like, we started uploading some stuff for you, and be ready in like 8 hours.
In a week.
Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, the show just uploaded. They're like, that was 8 minutes ago. I'm like, yeah. We're in America, baby.
We're downloading songs so we can burn a CD. We'll work on the show afterwards.
They're on Napster. The old school stuff. Hey, boys, we love you. And I do want to hear your opinion on some of this Israel Muslim extremism terrorist groups. I want to specify because these are good people that I know and they're Muslim, so we cannot lump them together.
Right.
And I've never wanted to do it, but I definitely don't want to do it now because these guys I know are legit and probably frustrated by it. I would be,
yeah.
If we had a bunch of Christians doing you know, and I believe in individual spirituality, but you know, I'm closest to Christianity because that's how I grew up and whatever. All of a sudden, the Crusades started happening, and I wouldn't support it.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't jump on the
ship? Be
ships?
Like, guys, let's back away here.
Yeah.
This is not good.
The Crusades.
So I just wanted to mention that, and so
why am I picturing you on a horse with a?
Well, I would go for a while just until we reach conflict.
Yeah. Well, wait, we're going to hit each other?
So
no.
that I could have the sword and the jousting.
Yes.
The equipment.
I'm just riding circles.
Yeah, just got to look good. Yeah, that's what. Who are those two idiots over there? We're just riding in circles. Like
slapping each other on the ass.
And why do they have 90s gangster rap going? That would be us. So don't recruit us for your Christian
crusade group.
All right, next story. Have you heard of slap fighting, Trey?
I have, yeah.
This is insane to me. First off, I don't like watching people be knocked out and hit and all that. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with it. I've said it before. This literally these are people that sit there and they have to stand a certain amount apart from each other, closer than you and I are right now. But you would sit here and you each get a turn. It's not like a slap fight.
Yeah.
Like we do. It's one guy goes.
Yep.
And it's open-handed, and I think it has to be like a certain straightness to the hand. The other person cannot flinch.
Yep.
The other person cannot move, cannot do anything, or you're disqualified.
Yep.
And you hit him as hard. I don't know if there's a women's league. Hit him as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And you have 60 seconds to recover after that slap, and then you go. And the person that hits the floor, they say, is the loser.
Which is weird because you see like 3 or 4 people behind the person to catch them if they get knocked out. But go ahead.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you've seen more.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Well, I've seen it, but I didn't know all the rules and all that. So it's I read that there's a new study
Okay.
that's found that slap fighters are at risk for brain damage
No shit.
and may get multiple concussions.
I can imagine.
Do we need a study?
To figure that out, I hope not.
It said that there could be long-term consequences
Yeah.
if you continue to do this. I'm going to give you the study statistics very fast so that people know we do our research. This study watched 78 fights, slap. 56 contestants delivered 333 slaps.
Okay.
Okay, Trey,
Sorry about that.
professional over there, and 44 of the 56 contestants had signs of concussion.
There was that many. Wow.
8 out of 56 didn't. That puts it in more perspective.
That's
8 people
crazy.
didn't have concussion.
Yeah.
People don't slap. This is stupid. What are you
Yeah.
slap fighting about? Next, you're going to tell me that you're going to get in a phone booth and kick each other and do stuff.
Well, actually, yeah. There's car fighting where you start with a seatbelt on,
Whoa.
and
Whoa. Car fighting.
car fighting. So it's like a jujitsu. So it's the grappling type fighting. So you're grappling with somebody, but you start with the seatbelt on, and then you take the seat as soon as the time starts. You take the seatbelt out, and you start grappling with somebody while you're in the fucking car.
Isn't that like wrestling
Yeah,
to the
wrestling,
ground and
yeah.
like?
Yeah, so you're wrestling somebody, trying to put them in a submission
car.
and all kinds of stuff in the car. Yeah,
So the seatbelt's on, and then all of a sudden it's like
take the seatbelt off and go.
2, ready, go. And
Yeah.
What if your seatbelt gets stuck?
I mean, you're screwed. Yeah, you're screwed. at
Is
that
this a
point.
real thing?
It's a real thing. I've seen it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I've seen it in a phone booth. I've seen it in like small space.
I was
Yeah.
just, I was just trying to make
like
a joke.
boxing in a phone booth. Yeah, just swinging like MMA style in a phone booth. So yeah, I've seen it. And, I mean, they just go crazy on each other.
Should we try this in the car in your truck right now?
I don't know about that.
Anyway, people, this stuff is getting out of hand. How about normal boxing, and like Rocky,
Yeah.
and normal?
Well, this is on the ESPN Ocho type shit, you know.
but is
so
it even on that? Like it shouldn't be on even on that.
I've only seen it on social media, so yeah, it's wild shit.
Apparently, well,
I just wonder how they get these ideas, you know.
well, I thought you were right, and I just thought it was funny that there was a study that needed to tell me that this was going to give you possible brain issues.
Yeah.
I just feel like anything that's going to hit your head might
Is going to
do
fuck
that.
something up, yeah.
Right.
Especially
Next, I've got a story of a woman who had an addiction that's disgusting. Well, it's disgusting enough because she was addicted to e-cigarettes, which
Okay.
are basically it's like vaping, right?
horrible, yeah.
And so she showered with them.
Like, while she
not,
was-
that's not good because the steam in the shower with the electric whatever, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And she sleeps next to it. She keeps it in her bed so if she wakes up, she can have a puff.
Oh my gosh.
She's that addicted to it. So the headline, I'm going to give you a headline because it makes you think, or it makes you want to know. Woman who showered with e-cig is lucky to be alive after black goo poured out of her.
Oh.
So
Where?
I'll elaborate.
Okay.
Out of her nose and mouth.
Oh God.
And her name is Jordan Brielle, and she's 32, and she lives in Ohio. I was hoping she'd be like foreign or something, but she's one of us.
Yeah.
She was found unresponsive in her bed by her partner, and he said black mucus was dripping from her nose and
Oh
mouth.
my God.
She went to the hospital, and the hospital sucked 2 liters of that. You know, like a liter of milk. Imagine 2 of those of this
almighty.
substance from her lungs.
Damn.
She was medically induced into a coma for 11 days so that they could whatever
Get everything
they
out.
They put her into a coma. This wasn't her.
God damn.
Apparently, she had been going to hospitals for months, saying that it felt like there was an elephant on her chest, like she couldn't move, she couldn't breathe, and they kept saying, "Everything's fine, your blood work's fine, go home," which makes me angry because I like to still believe in Western medicine.
Right.
That doesn't.
scary.
That sounds like if she comes in there a lot, you know, I don't know if they thought she had mental whatever, but now all of a sudden she's sitting in bed and they pull this out of her lungs. But her habit was $500 a week.
Damn.
Imagine somebody that smoked cigarettes. I mean, I don't even know what that equates to. Like 5 packs a day, more. Probably
Really?
something like that, maybe more. I think I don't know exactly what cigarettes cost these days, but that's That's a lot of
Well,
vaping.
And what from what I've learned, I don't know if things have changed, but these things aren't regulated either. So you could be smoking anything or vaping anything in those things. And to the point where there's what's called popcorn lungs.
Right.
Like for a smoker, once you stop smoking, your lungs immediately start repairing themselves and get better and better. But with these e-cigs, with this popcorn lung, once you stop, that doesn't get better. It just stays the way it is. So
See,
it doesn't reverse.
I didn't know that it was lifelong. The
Yeah.
popcorn lung.
So it doesn't reverse.
Look, this is bad stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody listen. I mean, come on. I mean, just smoke.
Take the gummies. Why not? You know,
Yeah, I mean,
get a
if you're-
fruity taste and
But like, if you need the nicotine, just these days, it's like just smoke a cigarette. Like, it's not, put
pretty
the
much
patch on.
Yeah.
But this vaping has been proven to be even worse. I know that it's silly for me to sit here and tell you to smoke cigarettes. I'm just kidding to all the our children listeners out there that are influenced by Stay in the Great podcast. But this is some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And can you imagine that much in your right here in your lungs?
How did she not drown?
But that's what she said she felt like for months. She said she'd wake up and she couldn't move, and she was like she was gasping for breath because it was like
God,
drowning.
that scared the shit
Like,
out
she
of
was
me.
drowning, and she just kept going home because they kept telling her, "You'll be all right. Just rest."
Hidden the e-cig all the way home, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the
Golly.
point. She's not stopping that because they're not telling her that that's
That's
what
what's
the
causing
issue
it? Yeah.
is. So anyway, that was kind of serious, but it needed to be mentioned because people stop with this vape. I see somebody vape and I'm like, so stupid.
Yeah.
The
big
point
old.
that the only benefit is it doesn't stink like cigarette
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah, it just smell nice. But yeah, having to carry that
It depends.
big ass
There are
thing
flavors
around
that
it.
don't smell
Yeah.
good, but yeah, you look
don't
like an
get it.
idiot. Like it's just. I'll be quiet.
Like and
I don't.
subscribe.
Yeah, I don't want to lose our vape. So
vape crew?
I feel like 90% of our listeners would vape.
No.
No. All right. Good. That makes
83.
that makes me feel better. Let's get to some fun stuff. This woman lives in Malaysia. That I'm going to talk about next. And she was jogging through Tanjung Aru Recreational Park. I don't know if-
That's South
I
Florida.
don't know if that's in English, the recreational park
Oh.
part. Like Tanjung Recreational Park. In Sabah, Malaysia. I said Malaysia.
Oh,
Malaysian
Malaysia.
woman. She's in Malaysia.
Malaysia's in northern Florida.
Okay. Oh, that's why
That's why I was messed up.
recreational
So-
park. She's in the country of Malaysia in the South Pacific.
Oh.
And she was on a jog going through the park. And she was attacked by 8 otters.
What?
Otters, like the little cute.
How big is an otter?
They're bigger than I thought when I looked at the picture. Because there's a picture of them also, like a video of them all running off.
Carrying her off to their lair.
You see that? Like ants, just pick it up. No, they're. I thought they were the little cute things,
Right,
Just,
little
like,
whiskers.
swim around, whatever. But she
Water
was
dogs.
attacked, and after the attack, they said the otters fled. Okay,
They didn't want to get caught.
yeah. Investigators came to the conclusion that they were looking for food.
No shit.
You probably could have told
Yeah.
each other that.
Yeah.
Without being a professional investigator. But what they're saying is the attack was spurred because visitors to the park feed them.
Ah.
And so when she didn't have any food, they were
Fuck you.
pissed.
Yeah.
Where's our food, bitch?
Yeah.
And they attacked her and left her bloody, and the picture of her is sitting on there, and she's blood all over her. I mean, they just whatever.
So do otters don't have legs, do they?
Yeah.
What does an otter look like? I thought they were sea animals. No? What is an otter? Let me Google this.
No, you're right about this. They swim in the water, right?
Okay.
But they have legs.
They do have legs?
It's not an eel.
I don't know. I guess I thought they had fins.
It's not in the eel family.
Oh, okay. I see them
Okay,
now.
you see them now. They're more like squirrels on crack.
So are they as big as squirrels?
Yes,
These should
bigger
look
than
super.
squirrels.
Do they have like crazy teeth? I'm not seeing any teeth on these pictures.
There
but
are teeth.
Are they fast? I mean,
Trey, I haven't encountered many otters in my day, but they were fast enough to take this jogging woman in Malaysia down. So
how many of them was there? Did they say
8.
8. Okay.
This
8.
reminds me of another story we told about
8.
weenie dogs.
Right. How big was this woman?
Well, does one of them take her? Did they do the thing where like one of them tripped her and she fell, and then the others just went, or did they all get her at once? I mean,
Two of them start dancing, and
did she not feel the presence and like
of the group
get to a higher? I don't know if they climbed.
Could she not kick the shit out of them to keep them
know.
off of her?
I think we'd kick the shit.
I
out
would
of
kick
some
the
otters.
shit out of them if they started biting me. Of course.
Anyway, the Sabah Wildlife Department Director Roland, which is an
Roland from Malaysia.
Roland Oliver, Nguyen, Neon.
Roland Oliver.
Roland Oliver
Nguyen.
Nguyen. He plans to reinforce the fence that surrounds the park.
Yeah.
And he advises everybody to stay away from the otters.
Or bring food.
Or bring food. I just love when you have somebody of authority like that, or so-called authority, say like, everybody stay away from the destruction that
The
just
wild
happened.
otters.
The attacks. Yeah, don't go near what just did that.
Yeah.
I think there was a lion. Like, stay away from the lion. Well, yeah.
Don't get close.
Yeah.
No pictures.
The last bit of news tonight, I know there's a lot of news, but there's so many fucked up stories, Trey. This one's so stupid. This is so stupid, people, that I had to tell you, because you need to understand that this is something that it makes news. I mean, it's like a headline, and people are pissed about it, Trey. It's in China, and it's China Zoo. It's in Shanwei, in the southern Guangdong province. Guangdong. But either way,
Keep saying it.
Either way, there's a dong.
There's a dong in there.
The Shanwei Zoo. Okay. In Duyin, China. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They posted a video to Douyin, which is the China version of TikTok.
Oh.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't TikTok China run anyway?
Right.
So how is there a China?
There's a Chinese version of
It's
TikTok.
Douyin is what this is called, and it's apparently their TikTok. So whatever. People are angry because this zoo placed two chow dogs. You know who they're the big dog,
Big chows?
big chows, right?
Okay.
Into a display area with artificial coloring to make them look like pandas. Can you imagine? Like, oh, look at the pandas out there. They get closer, you're like, yeah, why'd that panda bark?
Yeah.
Why is that guy giving him milk bones? I don't know what to say.
They painted the dogs.
Were you out of pandas, or
Holy
were you?
shit.
Did you think people were going to leave the zoo if there were no pandas? Like, I don't understand the need.
Maybe it looked cooler than the pandas.
They claim that they were trying a new animal combo called the panda dog. And the zoo owner said, "I'm not sure why people are upset."
The panda dog.
You know why you're upset? You go to the zoo and the display case says panda. You expect a goddamn panda.
Yeah, not the panda dog.
Not a dog. You can see a dog
Painted like
in the park
a panda.
with the otters.
That's fucking
Anyway.
ridiculous.
So that was my last story, just because it was so silly.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Are you a coffee drinker by chance?
I am a coffee drinker, like to the point of needing to not be as much.
Oh, okay. You like the caffeine too?
No, it's not. It's more like the lattes, and it's just something. It's more of a habit. So, like while I'm working and doing stuff, I just like to have a warm drink.
Well, quick little tidbit here. The world's most expensive coffee is made from the feces of a civet cat.
I don't care what it is.
Have you heard about a civet
I
cat?
don't care what it is. You said feces.
Feces.
It could be feces from a golden angel.
It
I
says
still would be questioning this.
the coffee beans are eaten by the civet cat, fermented in its digestive tract, and then excreted.
But what's a civet cat? Are you asking me, or do you?
I've already Googled that. A civet is a small, lean, nocturnal mammal that is native to tropical Asia and Africa. They're more
Do they
closely related to a mongoose.
Do they have legs?
I thought it was a swimming creature.
I want to make sure I
do
understand
swim.
what this creature looks like.
So basically, like
So
a
this
weird
has-
cat.
Yeah, so a weird cat. Okay.
Um,
And where are they located?
Asia and Africa.
I thought the most expensive coffee was in South America. I guess I'm wrong. That must be a
wrong.
stereotype. So Africa and Asia, does it say what specific type of coffee?
No, it just says
That's the most. Well, how does it give you how much? No. You look, if you did enough research just by looking up what the hell that cat thing was. I'm not going to ask you to do any more.
Asian. Oh shit! Does
It's
it have
a lot.
price? It doesn't
It's a
have
lot.
problem.
I mean, but what they're saying is that it's ridiculously expensive compared to like Folgers.
Well, and I think what they're wanting to point out is that they give these beans to this cat and it's fermented in the digestive tract and then excreted.
Yeah.
So the beans are collected and cleaned and roasted to make the coffee known
Thank
as
goodness they're cleaned.
Kopi Luwak. So
Okay.
now that when you get a Kopi Luwak, you'll know what kind of coffee that is.
Like if I go to Starbucks, ask for
Oh, here it is.
yes.
It says with retail prices reaching $100 per kilogram for farmed beans and $1,300 per kilogram for wild collected
It's
beans.
metric system bullshit. I don't.
Lots of money.
It sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what, Trey? Any amount of money is too much if it involves shit from something in
Yeah.
my coffee.
Do that. Okay.
That's interesting. I just want to look at this cat, so I'm going to take a look at that later.
Civet.
But it is. So the cat has to shit it out.
Yes.
So it's not like they're taking. You know what? I think we've talked about this enough.
They're putting the gloves on and going in
That's
for it.
what I mean. Yeah, so they're being patient and they're waiting with the gloves.
Yeah.
They're not.
Ugh. How do they figure out which the beans and which one is regular food? Anyway.
God. And Trey took it to the next level, which I love. So let's move on from cat shit to Taylor Swift. Everybody. It's been a while since Trey and I have done Tay-Tay Talk. Do you miss it?
No.
No.
Me or the listeners?
You and the listeners.
Oh, no.
You're speaking for our listeners. I'm pretty sure that the majority of our listeners are not Swifties.
Swifties.
Right? So Taylor, at the end of our episode 333, if you didn't know by now, at the very end, we used to say, we would wait, play the outro song, and then Billy, and then for the people that really listened, we would say something stupid at the end that had to do with the show.
Right.
Well, at the end of the last episode of the last season, so our finale for season 3, we had just done the show about the debate.
Right.
And Trey mentioned that he just read that Tay-Tay had given her endorsement to Kamala Harris.
Officially, yeah.
Officially. And the show was over, so we couldn't talk about it.
Right.
Well, let's talk about it real quick.
Okay.
Because I don't want to put a lot of time into this. Real quick, before I read her statement, and I'm not going to get the whole statement, I'll sum it up because it's just a bunch of horseshit. We love you, Tay-Tay. No, we don't. What do you think about this celebrity thing? What do you think about who's endorsing Trump? Because Trump's got Elon and Tulsi Gabbard and all people, and I say we, people who are voting for Trump are going, well, that's a big JFK Jr. I'm sorry, RFK Jr. is a big get. And of course the lefties like to comment at people voting for Trump and say, whoa, yeah, Kid Rock, great, okay, fair enough, whatever. What do you think about this? I mean, do you think that was planned? I mean, it seems very planned that 15 minutes after the debate, Taylor Swift comes out and
You
says
think
it.
she just forgot? It's like, oh,
Oh, I better do this?
I need to get my endorsement out. I don't know.
No. Do you think the Democratic Party and Tay-Tay had some sort of an arrangement?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it was staged and planned and all
Because
that
this
kind of
isn't too much of a conspiracy. That could happen.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah. So,
What do you think about it, though? I mean, do you think that people need to, and I'm not just saying this because if she came out and said she endorsed Donald Trump, I mean, I would still think the same thing. And I mean that, people. This idea that a pop star who has no clue about what the middle class and anything about them and how they live is telling you who to vote for is just beyond me. That it's not beyond me that she's saying I'm voting for Kamala. Great, vote for whoever you want, but that she's saying it like you should listen to her, like I'm endorsing her, therefore hopefully this will get you millions of votes. That's what bothered me because who's Taylor Swift? What are her credentials?
I guess I don't understand the need for endorsing these celebrities to come out and say, I'm endorsing this person. Why? What's the need for that?
Well, people are stupid enough to just say, oh, Tay likes Kamala, I'm going to go with her. It'd be like your favorite, when you were 20, you had a favorite NBA or football player, and he came out or Snoop came out and endorsed somebody or some star that you really admired and liked.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to spend the time to do your own research.
Oh, okay.
I'll go with Snoop.
Yeah.
I guarantee you half these Swifties are just voting age anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
And are probably coming out going, oh, Tay, I can't go against her. And that's frustrating because those votes count as much as the people who have experienced life.
Yeah, I can't imagine many Swifties being Trump fans.
Well, apparently there is a Swifties for Trump group.
That must be the moms of the Swifties.
Moms of Swifties, and there might be 46 people in it, but it's there from what I've seen. So let me read this real quick, or let me sum it up real quick. She said, like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. This is, of course, after the debate. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand. She didn't give any of that. I'd like to hear what her research is. I really do. I want to know what it is. But she does tell us. Do your research in the stances that the candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that, so this is what made her upset, and I haven't seen this. There's an AI of Taylor Swift falsely endorsing Donald Trump.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I thought it was too. And it was posted to his site. And it really conjured up, this is her, it really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. That sounds like one of my ending quotes.
How do we know this is not AI?
That's true. That's right, Tay. She said, I'll be casting my vote for Kamala and Tim Walz, blah, blah, blah. I'm voting for her because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. Do you look at Kamala as a warrior? If there's any one of the two that you would say warrior, it's Donald, not Kamala. Come on. I mean, it's so stupid to use that word. I think she's a steady-handed, gifted leader.
Interesting.
Not sure what she's led before, besides some shady prosecution.
Keep reading.
And I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we're led by calm and not chaos. That right there, Trey, is more false rhetoric, and I'm going to call it out. Calm and not chaos. Chaos is what has happened on the left in cities that burn and are looted and are whatever. Those are democratic people. Those are left woke people. That's chaos. The calm is not on that side. Just had to say that. I was so heartened and impressed by her. This is the deal that gets some people. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, that guy, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus. I'm reading it, I still can't say it. Rights, IVF, in vitro,
right,
and a woman's right to her own body. For decades, he's been standing up for that. I've done my research and made my choice. Your research is all yours to do. Fair enough. Good, Taylor. And the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. Trey, first-time voter at 40.
Did she put this site?
Yeah. She put out. I also find that it's much easier to vote early, which is usually when the Democrats tend to do it. I'll link where to register. There you go, and find the early voting dates and info into my story. I don't think there should be, by the way, with love and hope, Taylor. And she put a picture of her with a cat, and she said, childless cat lady, because Donald made reference to like, childless cat ladies.
No, he did.
Vance.
It was Vance.
Vance, right.
That, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Not being able to make decisions. But anyway, so after all that, does it, I mean, what do you think?
Well, I've got to vote for Kamala now.
Yeah. Hearing her say those things, I'm sorry, I had to throw my 2 cents on the way because it's just rhetoric. And she's influences millions of people. And these people are like, oh, yeah, let's vote for the calm and not the chaos. Well, if you think, I don't like I don't like hypocrisy. We know this. And I don't like lies. And that's a blatant lie. It just is. So,
I think there's just craziness on both sides.
yeah, that's your kind of cop-out answer on everything, isn't it? There's crazy on both sides. But this says, haters gonna hate.
Does it really?
This is the next article. This is an article that says that Taylor Swift is still less popular than Donald Trump.
Really?
And of course, I said,
What's the demographic, the age
source.
demographic?
I know, that's true. Let me look at the source. They did this on September 11th through the 16th, so right after the.
Was this after the video came out of Trump on the Soul Train line?
Did you see that video? That was fantastic.
It was funny.
Anybody that hasn't seen that, look, Donald was on the Soul Train line back in the day, and I think he's getting
With a mullet. That was great.
Yeah, the black people are like, hey, we didn't know this about Donald, and there was a guy,
and we wish we hadn't.
Right? he had the mullet, and the suit, but she apparently the poll is, done by the New York Times, which is a very liberal publication, and Siena College, conducted September 11th through the 16th after Swift's endorsement of presidential candidate Kamala Harris, or Kamala. I don't know how she says it. I don't really care. And it says 47% said that Donald Trump was more likable, and 42% said that Taylor Swift was more likable. Take it or leave it, but it's a poll, and I don't even know if I believe that, honestly. But there are a lot of people that don't like Taylor. And I know there are a lot of people who don't like Donald, but Taylor, everyone's just annoyed by her. It's like, go away.
I think it's crazy during the football games now how they keep panning to her, and they let us know that she arrived late in the last game and all this other stuff. It's just like...
Remember we did that Super Bowl story about how she had a show in Japan, and the Japanese embassy actually let everybody know
she'll make it on time.
She'll make it to the plane, to her private jet, by the way. Climate change spokesman Taylor Swift on her private jet that sends out emissions. And that she would make it on time to the Super Bowl. So it's just, it's still there. And it's, her and Brittany Mahomes are no longer friends. I think the Mahomes are on the Trump train.
I didn't know that.
Both of them.
Well, I know you said.
Well, Brittany
she is.
But I think the rumor is Patrick is too, like me. It's Trump train. Anyway, I say that as a joke. We're voting for policy. And I believe that they're voting that way. And they don't hang out, all of them anymore.
Interesting.
And I think Patrick's got to play it safe. That's my opinion. In the NFL, you can't. It's like you come out and say something. Look at Harrison Butker. You come out and say something in your own opinion that's not, like-minded to the celebrities, and you get just torched.
Well, I mean, for better or worse, look at Colin Kaepernick. He got. I mean, for what it's worth, he never played again. But he stood up for what he felt was right. So.
True. I would also say that Patrick Mahomes is a little better than.
Well, yeah. You're right there. Yeah.
So what would be interesting would be to see a talent like Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
What if he did something like that?
And how would they react?
If he was fully capable of playing in the league, would the league push him out like they did Colin?
Yeah.
And, again, I think Colin had his chance, not to bring that topic up again, but I think he had his chance to go to some sort of tryouts, and then he didn't show up, or he went to a different place. It was really weird.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Colin sometime, because that issue still, it's still kind of, I think it happened again, and this girls' team in high school was told
he wasn't allowed to play for the girls' team.
Yeah. Exactly it.
Colina Kaepernick.
Tell you what, she's a good boxer.
Shut your mouth.
In the Olympics. I'm sorry. What was her name? I forget her name. I apologize. That was uncalled for.
Yeah.
But what I will tell you also, Trey, is that Donald Trump, who I am voting for, everybody knows, because his policy, I like his determination, his fight, and I don't like the far woke left. Simple, right? Donald Trump needs to stop with his messages on social media.
Yeah.
He's got to. Do you know what he said to Taylor Swift?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, it's very simple. In all caps, with a bunch of exclamation points, I hate Taylor Swift.
Wow.
After she endorsed Kamala Harris.
Was this before or after the poll?
The poll might have changed. If he had seen the poll, he'd be like, "Ha ha, fuck you, Taylor Swift."
Right.
But he, she didn't really say anything about him, and to her credit,
That's true,
She didn't bash him like most. We always talk about it. What does the left do? They bash Donald. Well, she didn't really. She kind of hinted to, doing this versus that, and I don't agree that the Donald supporters are like that. But anyway, so Donald, really, you don't need to say you hate Taylor Swift, probably arguably the most popular pop star singer in the world.
Right. And we all
That's not
automatically
gonna help you.
assume that he doesn't like Taylor Swift. I would assume.
It's not going to help you. I mean, what is it going to do? I mean, is it going to rile up your already rabid fan base that loves you to death?
Yeah.
Great. You don't need them anymore. You know who you need? The people that go, did our presidential candidate just say like a little 5-year-old that he hates Taylor Swift?
In all caps.
In all caps, with exclamation points. I mean, he writes like a 5-year-old too. So I wanted to mention that. So everybody, don't give me shit. I'm getting both sides here, right? Is that it about Taylor? Do you want to talk about it anymore?
I can't think of anything good.
Well, the reason I ask is like I said, I'm so fascinated by this celebrity thing with the endorsement. I mean, it seems like everybody's like, well, I endorse so and so.
Our pregnant deadline went past. I just realized that. So.
Oh, beginning of football season.
Yeah.
We lost that too.
Yeah, 3 weeks in.
For newer listeners to the show, Trey and I, we didn't really bet each other. We just kind of threw it out there that the show claimed that Taylor, maybe she is though. We don't know.
That's true.
That Taylor would be pregnant. I think we said with Travis's baby, but it can be anybody.
Yeah. We'll just throw that out there.
Maybe that's why there's some conflict.
Are they broken up before the end of the season?
Okay,
after the end.
This is our new bet about Taylor and Travis Kelce.
Not a bet, a prediction.
I don't know.
You think they're pretty?
I don't know. I mean, they made it this far through all this.
So
a lot of people are not happy with Travis Kelce and his behavior as well. From the Trump,
fantasy
Trump
football
voters.
owners?
I definitely wasn't happy with that from last year. I did not draft him again this year.
I'm curious the betting odds of them being together to the end of the season or broken up by the end of the season. I wonder which one gets the better betting odds.
Well, end of the season, I would say they're broken up.
End of the season?
End of the season. I want to say by the end of the year because I think the election's going to just take a toll on everybody.
Oh.
And I don't think Travis Kelce's quite as left as she is. I think he just kind of goes along with it, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Now, he is the Pfizer guy, according to Aaron Rodgers, and the vaccine guy. And there are people, and this will be a great segue, there are people like Megyn Kelly, who we all know and love. I do. I think she's great, and I think she's super hot. I always have to add that in there. My wife doesn't even listen to the show, so I can say whoever's hot, and she wouldn't care. But Megan's always been so attractive, and she was on Fox News, and then she left, and she's got her own deal, and she's got a lot of followers, and I think she's very smart. I don't agree with every single thing she says, kind of like Ben Shapiro, if you know who that guy is. There's a lot of stuff where it's a little over the top for me, but overall, we're like-minded. So I want to play a clip that we're going to analyze, and it's going to be right there.
Got it.
And our guys, put it there. Don't make us look like idiots and put it somewhere else. But if you're not watching, then you have no clue what we're talking about. I'm going to play this clip, and this is Megyn Kelly, who has her own show now, used to be a Fox analyst, who is very, very upset with Taylor Swift in her endorsement because her reasoning beyond what her statement was that it was Tim Walz was one of the main reasons that in his work with LGBTQ. I just did a bunch of
God damn it.
LRWQR, whatever, Niner.
Niner.
LGBTQ. Did I get that right?
Plus.
And Megyn Kelly's frustrated because that includes children. And if that's true, Megyn Kelly believes for whatever reason Taylor's included children. I didn't hear that. But if that's true, then I'm with Megyn. But she just goes off. So I want you to hear this and see what you think.
Let's analyze it.
I knew you'd like that word. You ready?
Go.
Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Is that Tim Walz's stance?
Well, he's the one. Remember the tampons in the bathroom and all these things. So Megyn Kelly's frustrated because of the children. You heard her say.
Yeah.
And then you go off, and then who cares? But by God, those children should be able to start transitioning if they want to. And Tim Walz, like I said, he's the one that put the tampon machines in the boys' restrooms at the schools in Minnesota, where he's the governor. And he's got that kind of a reputation. And so Taylor Swift coming out and saying that Tim Walz was one of the main reasons, and that she loves his support of this and that and whatever else, it got under Megyn's skin. And I wanted to show that clip because, people are fired up about that stance, as am I, and she's super hot, so let's throw her up there. But so Taylor's causing some issues and on both sides, and you got people happy and people upset. So I guess that's Tay-Tay talk. We haven't done it in a while. Usually it's about whether her hair was in a pony today or what kind of boots she was wearing.
Deep talk.
But so done with that. But into the season, are you going to go season, or are you going to go for breakup, Travis and Taylor? When will she be in the box for every Kansas City game this year, or will they have broken up?
No on box at every game, and yes, they'll be broken up by the end of the season.
So probably in January, early February. Hopefully the Chiefs aren't in it again. God damn it, I'm so tired of that team. They get lucky every game. Anyway, we won't talk about that. I have one quick thing really fast, and then we're going to close it out. Do you know there was a new Miss USA crowned? I
didn't.
Her name is Alma Cooper. Okay.
Is that televised? I figured there'd be some advertising, or no?
I'm surprised that they don't have all the big girls on there, because that's the point. Is that they're
full figured.
They've been saying that we don't want to do swimsuit competitions. Heaven forbid we have any reason to watch. So their viewership went, it was like 90% women watching this, because no one gives a shit anymore. I think they still do evening gowns, but whatever. I can go out and see that on a Saturday night.
Sumo wrestling.
If they did events, I'd start watching. But this is the title of her winning. This is a very big deal. She won Miss USA. Awesome. I'm so happy for her. But the headline is Alma Cooper is the first Afro-Latina Miss USA and U.S. Army officer, West Point grad, and data scientist. Could you not just say Alma Cooper is the new Miss USA? And by the way, she was a U.S. Army officer, West Point grad, and data scientist. Why does it need to be Afro-Latina? And by the way, if I said Afro, wouldn't that be would somebody call me racist? I'm confused.
So they're saying that she's the first mixed African-American Latina?
I guess. But
interesting.
I just feel like Afro is that okay to say?
That doesn't sound okay to say,
But first, this is like USA Today or Today.
So they're trying to take it out of Afro-American to Afro-Latina.
So it's a mix of black and Latina. And she's the first Miss USA. Well, that's great. But why can't we just look at her and be like, she's beautiful, and she answered a good question, she didn't answer like an idiot, or she looked great in her gown and she did everything great. Congratulations. Wow, you were in the U.S. Army? That's fucking badass. West Point grad, data scientist. They're great things. Not once would I look at her and go, oh wow, but she's black. She did these things. No, people say that that's bullshit, but I don't agree anymore. This is not 1960. Tell me I'm wrong, because I think I know somebody that will say that I'm wrong, and it does exist. And of course it exists. It's always going to exist somewhere on some level, but I think it's so minor that until we separate it out, it's always going to continue. Do you agree?
I guess I
you
don't
can disagree.
Well, I don't understand I guess I don't understand that, like you said, the need to point out that she was Afro Latina. I can't even say that right. But
You said it right.
I guess did she, during her campaign, was she make sure she was pointing out
Right.
that she was Afro Latina, and I'm sure it's important to her, but.
Well, I mean, they always make a big deal about being like the first of that. The first black president was Barack Obama. Well, even though he was mixed. It sounds bad. A mix. It's not a drink. He had multiple ethnicity. And then, of course, Kamala, who's 25% black and 75% Indian and whatever else. And I just feel like if you keep bringing that to people's attention, it continues to isolate and separate people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Versus just making it normal. And of course you're going to get assholes that are like, screw having an Indian black vice president. Well, they're assholes. If that's the reason.
Yeah.
I don't like her because she's annoying and she sucks. No pun intended. And her policy, I don't like her policy. I just don't like her policy. I don't like wokeism. I don't like all that. It has nothing to do with their race. But there are people that it does, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just like with Miss USA. Maybe
Just like with Trump, too. I'm sure there's people that would prefer voting for Kamala because of her ethnicity and the fact that she's female as opposed to a white male, so.
Enough with the old white guys. I mean, I hear that all the time. Although the old white guys made this country pretty good. And
where are the young white guys?
where are the young white guys at? Well, JD Vance is pretty young.
Young guys, period.
I don't know.
Or young women.
They're very feminine these days. They're betas. Kudos, like and subscribe to our young crowd out there on Facebook. I was told that nobody under like 40 looks at Facebook. I disagree. But anyway, she said real quick, she said, I hope to show others that if you can see me, you can be me. The former Miss Michigan tells Today.com. And what that means to me is inspiration for people of color, because it was right after that. Great. Okay, whatever. I get it. I'm the white boy sitting here. You're the white boy sitting here.
I am?
You are. Oh. And I'm going to ask, as soon as maybe we should really try hard to get somebody on for these types of questions that is Afro-Latina or something like that. But from what I'm seeing, I don't believe this can be remedied until people stop focusing on it. It's a headline. If somewhere down the road she goes, oh, I was also very proud because I was the first, but that wasn't like the main focal point. This is the main, that was before U.S. Army officer, West Point grad, data scientist.
Yeah.
And I'm
you would think that would be the first part.
How about the other things that I admire? I'm not going to admire you just because you're a certain ethnicity. That's not admiration. That's, okay, I respect your ethnicity. But that's admiration for what you did for the country.
Right.
So I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to bring it up before we end the show.
Feisty.
Are you ready? Yeah, Taylor and this Miss USA, who I actually like, but I just was about to yell at her.
And the Otter attack?
Yeah. Things are getting crazy on this show, Trey. So my quote tonight, and I hope this will keep her listening, or I might have to remind her to listen, was from a listener.
Oh.
And we put up a quote. All right. You remember we put up the one about the stars. And you were rather funny and giving me shit about that quote because you thought I was looking at you while I said it.
There's no thinking.
I believe you thanked me for, are you, you said you're welcome.
You're welcome, yeah.
For me making me smile. Well, this girl thought that was funny, and she liked the quote.
Cool.
Once I got to it.
Okay.
So to come on and comment about the quote, she offered one of her own, her favorite quotes. Yeah. She said it was actually, I said, can I use this? And she said, of course, it's Tony Robbins.
Okay. You don't know who Tony Robbins is?
No, who's Tony Robbins?
He's a large man.
Is that Winnie the Pooh?
Have you seen Shallow Hal?
Oh, that's Christopher Robbins. Yeah. I'm sorry.
God damn.
Shallow Hal.
Have you seen Shallow Hal with Jack Black?
Yes.
Remember the guy in the elevator with the banana hands?
No.
You don't remember that? That's the main part of it.
I don't.
Anyway, yeah, he's an inspirational speaker. Just say so. Anyway,
well, this is him, and I thought the quote was pretty good. And so her name is Christina. Looks like a lovely woman. based on a profile picture that I can barely see that's this big. But Christina, thank you for sending this to me, and hopefully you appreciate that we said it. The quote is, and then we'll let you roll here. The quote is, do you have anything else to say?
Apparently not. What's the quote?
I was like, we're quoting raw. Trey can't say anything. Do you?
No.
Okay, say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. The quote is this: change happens.
So fucking bossy.
It's because of that the stars quote. When you thought I was looking at you,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be mad. Like,
Read the fucking quote.
so Taylor Swift the other day. This quote from Christina, from Tony Robbins is: change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Can you say that again?
Change is the focal point. Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
There's a lot of rhyming in that one.
It was something.
Pain, change,
alliteration.
train.
But what
Strange.
what he's insinuating, would you like me to break
it down?
Look, I like that quote. Basically what it's saying is if you stay the same,
No change.
all of a sudden you don't change, you don't advance, you don't further yourself, better yourself. That pain can be greater than the pain of changing yourself.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
Bettering yourself.
Deep.
Was no stars and your penis getting
No
hard.
love. Yeah, there's no love on that one.
No love.
So I'm gonna go change my underwear when I get home. So it's nothing strange.
I think
or pain.
look how else to end the show, but Trey changing his underwear when he gets home.
Boom.
Look out for the otters, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Love you. We'll let that go for 20 minutes.
Shadows creep, streets look